Well, you know what? We gave Jennifer Johnson the keys to a brand new car, and she's out in the parking lot with it right now. Okay, I'm joking. It's the road racing division of NASCAR, IMSA. She is with a person who knows a lot about this IMSA car, talking about the Salem 6 hours of the Glen at Watkins Glen International this weekend. Jen, that car would get you to work so fast.
Yeah, you don't think Chuck, our general manager, these should be our news cars? Don't you think? I mean, think how fast we'd get to those news stories. No, just kidding. Nate Sieben knows a lot about him. He is with IMSA, and to be honest, I don't even know, is it IMSA? Is it IMSA? I know nothing about this stuff. You're here to educate me.
It is IMSA. It stands for the International Motorsports Association, which is kind of the league that sanctions the races. So we're part of the overall kind of NASCAR family. So if you think of NASCAR and the Sprint Cup Series, we're kind of the NASCAR of this weekend's race down at Watkins Glen, the Salem 6 hours of the Glen.
Okay, because I know a lot of people are like, duh, Jennifer, I know that. But I do think up here, maybe our race car knowledge is maybe a little bit less than, say, Florida or North Carolina. Florida is where you're from, and we see visitflorida.com on the car. By the way, we're going to sort of look inside the car a little bit later. So if you're thirsting over wanting to get in there, we will do that in just a little bit. But so this car races on the road, is that right?
Well, this car races actually on the road circuit at Watkins Glen.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually race on the actual road itself, but the circuit is called a road circuit because it turns right and left. So basically, our season consists of all road races. So instead of for example, again, to compare it to NASCAR, which does mostly oval events, other than at Watkins Glen and at Sonoma. All of our races are on road circuits, so the tracks turn right and left. So, and we have 12 of those a season. Obviously, this is one of our bigger ones this weekend.
I can never imagine what it's like to drive any of those cars, but I imagine for a driver, it seems like it's very physical, and I imagine, you know, the just excitement that would go through your body doing any of this. But having twists and turns, that might be a little bit more appealing to some drivers.
I suppose it depends on the discipline. Certainly for all of our drivers, it's definitely what they're motivated by is to have is to have to turn right and left. Certainly, very, very well conditioned athletes, really, pretty much across the board. Drivers, especially in this that race this car and in this category, the prototype category. They're top professionals. Take care of their bodies. Very. They exercise. They eat well.
Because their reaction time has to be on point, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is, inside these cars, it gets pretty hot. So it's kind of like. Not only are they, having to, react to what's going on around them in pretty close quarters with other cars and other classes, a lot of slower cars. These are the fastest of 4 classes racing at the same time. So they need to react to all that, and they're doing it sometimes in very, very hot temperatures. So there's a lot to kind of manage for the drivers.
All right, so I'm going to ask that question that you all want to know. How fast can this thing go? And we're going to look inside coming up in just a little bit. For now, Norma, back to you.
I'm digging that car. I'm loving the way it looks in the parking lot. I think our boss ought to take notice. Maybe that'll be an incentive for employee incentives to be able to drive that car. We'll be right back with much more from Nate Sieben and the IMSA car in just a little bit. Jen will join us again in just a small bit. And, of course, we're going to look at that weather forecast coming up next.